What is up, everybody? Good evening. It is Monday night, and this one feels a little bit different because normally this is day after the game talk, but we've had roughly 4 days since the 49ers have played. Coach and I spent one session on the phone today, but we really avoided the game for the most part because we wanted to talk about it here with y'all, and that's what we're going to do. But we're going to do it in a little bit of a different light, Coach, because we can't just talk outright about the game. It's been 4 days, but we're going to talk about bits and pieces through players and coaches and really the season outlook. But first, of course, I got my guy Coach with me. Coach, brother, how you doing, man?
I'm doing phenomenal, man. I mean, who's got it better than us, man?
I had to bring that one back, huh? All right.
Who's got it better than us, dog?
Yeah. Perfect. I love it. Well, one thing we did talk about, and I think we need to put this out there in the ether, regardless of the reason, you and I both feel very much the same about this, which is this is our favorite season in the Shanahan era. It's like I'm fully roped back in. And what people don't understand is we get a lot of stuff like, oh, you're a fake fan and this and that. That's whatever. I know where my fandom comes from. You know where your fandom comes from. We know we spend a lot of hours talking about this team and spend money on this team and a lot. But there is something to the fact that when you make content about the team, it can be a little mess sometimes. And that's just being real. You get into the day-to-day of talking about the team and your passion is still there, but it is a little bit different. You become almost indifferent. Win, lose, draw. It is what it is. On to the next one. We got to talk about it. We got to be honest about it. But right now, man, I am in full-fledged fan mode with this team, and it has been a while since I have been there. Maybe since the 2021-ish season that I've been like fully in like this. Maybe it's the Mac Jones thing. I don't know. Maybe it's just because there's so many injuries and they're fighting. I don't know what it is, Coach, but I am in on this team. And you, for the first time, have been wearing 49er gear on stream, which says a lot in itself, man. Why do you think we're so wrapped up with this team in particular?
I gotta love Jones for this squad, man. I really do. I think one of it is that one of the reasons is that they're not perfect. So, you know, they're ours. They're personalized. You know, they're our Niners. You know, you got to know the depth to understand where the strength comes from with this team. I love the fact that they have an identity that, you know, we are a 60-minute football club. We will play to the bitter end. We're playing ourselves into one of the most in shape football teams in the league. All things that matter late in the season. Coaches are being pushed to the brink of being uncomfortable and succeeding. That's what coaches should do, right? That's the life of a coach. You should never be on a team where you feel like the coaching staff isn't pushed to compete or they're not pushing to do their very best. They're kind of mailing it in. You don't feel that this year. I think that there's competition on the coaching staff, which you should have on a good football team, right? The OC should be looking at the DC. The DC should be looking over there at the OC saying, hey, man, we can't screw this up, man. Offense just went out here and drove for us. We got to handle business. I just feel like there's no leader of there's no phase of the team that is above responsibility. There's no phase of the team or group of the team that's above accountability. And I love it. I think that right now we're in a rare moment with this regime where you could actually see how the sausage is made, right? We're watching them get a run game together. We're watching them generate a pass rush without Nick Bosa. We're watching them matriculate down the field and find ways to keep putting together offensive game plans, playing who you have to play, right? Not sitting back. It's amazing. It's the purest form. The last time I felt like we were playing anywhere like probably on this level or better, but we were just as and then also we have a very good mix of youth and veteran leadership on this team too, right? Like you get too many veterans You know, it's the gentleman's club, man. You're doing everything to make sure that the guys feel great, right? You're pouring honey down their back. You're giving guys days off. You be ready for game day. And that still exists on this team. But at the same time, there is a side of it where some of these pros, they know that I'm essentially playing for my job. I'm playing to actually get another guy ready to move into the next phase of where this team may go. And I love it. It's just the natural order of things. You know, it seems normal. It seems normal. And I love this team. I'm enthralled with this team.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. This team is really a lot of fun. And, you know, Frisco Shills brings up a good point. They're winning on defense without sacks. Oh, well, hold on. We got to get rid of this guy real quick.
Yeah, he's my guy too. NFL HD.
Oh no, it's on your channel. Yeah. It's not on mine. Dang it, I can't delete it.
Out of here. Yeah. I got to get this guy out of here. I'm on the way.
On the way. Clean him up. Anyways, Frisco Shills brings up a really good point. He's like, look, the defense is winning without sacks or interceptions, and the offense is moving the ball without running the football. Like this is not about as non-Niner football is we can think of. I mean, Kyle Juszczyk has got to be like tossing and turning at night. This is not Niner football, Kyle. I don't know what this is, but either way, what I can say is they are winning regardless. And I think that's what it is. This team is so gritty and so tough. They're not front running the way that they have in the past. And we knew that that wouldn't be the case. We knew that they would be in pretty much all close games all season long, outside of maybe a couple. And they're finding ways to just hang around. And even teams like the Rams, who are much healthier and much better on paper, they're able to win that game because they didn't shoot themselves in the foot. They didn't make the big mistake. And the Rams did repeatedly. I mean, you look at the course of that game and all the things that went against the Rams because of their own doing. That's why the game was lost. That's how the Niners were able to win. You had a missed kick. You had a missed extra point. You had 2 drop passes on a pivotal drive that would have led to a touchdown, but then they end up missing the kick. So that's a 10-point swing. Then the second half starts out and you had the Corum fumble. Corum fumble. Yeah, I mean, it was just a disaster. Then you had the Kyron Williams fumble on the one. And it's just like play after play. Now, the 49ers did help in some of that, right? Obviously, Alfred Collins punched the ball out, whatever. But a lot of those were unforced errors. And the 49ers just hang around, and they don't make the mistakes. They're much more disciplined than we've seen them be in the past because they have to be. They have to remain focused. And that's what makes this team so much fun. You know that they're earning everything they are getting. They are earning it every time out. And that is fun.
I think it's proven their mettle as well. I don't think that they'll come out and say this, but I think that they're surprised they're winning some of these games.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. You know, Christian McCaffrey hasn't scored a rushing touchdown yet. Nobody called that. I think they're surprised exactly how they're doing it on offense. I think Mac is a welcome surprise. There's a lot of things that what's dope is that I feel as though that we're all getting the information at once. Like it's all happening in the open. Like we're finding out, they're finding out. I mean, I talked about it on the 4-man front last week, which will be tomorrow. Tune in when you get a chance. But what I talked about was basically how sobering the interview between Grant and Trent was. You know, how Trent seemed to be flat-footed, no answers, didn't even really want to be in the position to answer those questions, man. And what I just love how pure, raw this season is. I really love the guys, and don't look now, but when you put together a team that has a healthy mix of veterans and young guys, the young guys are going to pick up to the point where the veterans are not going to want to be seen slacking. It's the perfect storm. And I see it happening. It's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's get to some super chats here real quick. We actually have some good questions that I'm going to star as well. Bobo has some good ones, but let me see if the super chats address them first. Tommy says, I was dead wrong and I'm loving it. Let's freaking go. Yeah, man. It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Crazy Rod says, will you guys be at the game? I can't wait to go. I will be at the game. I will absolutely be there.
I just missed it, guys. I can't go to the Bucks game. I really wanted to go, though.
Sean's Garage says, today is my 49th birthday. Happy birthday. He says, 49ers won in LA. Seahawks and Cards lost. One of the best birthdays ever. Yeah, the whole division lost. And oh my gosh, the Cards. I cannot wait.
The Cardinals lost.
I cannot wait for Roundtable tomorrow, man. This is going to be a blast. Legendary Answer says, we're a blue collar team this season, and I love it all. This is well said, Legendary. Well said. This is exactly what they are. The Unbeaten with Keith and Bernie says, that win changes the trajectory of my expectations. Well, this is the first win of the season for the 49ers that I had them losing as far as preseason started. Now, I did have them at this record. So, I had them beating the Jags and then losing to the Rams. So the record is still the same, but I'm starting to turn a corner on this team, man. I really am. I'm starting to see it. The Unbeaten with Keith and Bernie says, this is real NFL football. Agree.
Yeah.
Cryptic says, why do you think when backs are against the wall with no starters, Kyle Shanahan can dial up a great game plan, but with the starters, it can be vanilla with no consistency? I think a lot of it comes down to what he's comfortable with and who he's comfortable with. To me, okay, I'm going to bring this up because we're going to get into the conversation anyways. The whole Mac, Brock, whatever. But to answer this question, somebody on social media, on Twitter, had put, I don't understand why the game plan is so perfect for Mac and all these checkdowns are there and they're not for Brock.
He's taking
Newsflash. They are there for Brock all the time. He just doesn't take them. And I showed it on film all last year. And I would be doing the same this year if the NFL wasn't crazy and would take down every video that I put up where we watch film or demonetize me. But it's all over the film. It's all over the film. Mac takes them. Brock doesn't. It's not that the game plan is so much different. It's how the game plan is executed. And right now, regardless of who you want to say is better, but all that out the window, Mac is executing the game plan at a higher level than Brock was. And that's just the facts right now. Yeah.
I mean, I do agree with, I agree with the sentiment. It does seem as though that when Kyle's back is against the wall, we get the best of him. But some people, they perform under pressure. That's a real thing, where it's like, hey man, I'll definitely give you my best, but look, if it ain't life or death, you're really not going to get that much out of me. So
yeah,
look, it's what we deal with Kyle.
Sean says, you like the profile pic, Coach? It's Coach.
I love it,
awesome.
Bro. I love it.
The in-game energy was wild. This team is aging well in the first half of the season. Feels like the playoff atmosphere experience for the Rooks. This team will be all right. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great profile pic, by the way.
I love it, dog. You got to send me that. Send it to my email, bro. I need that, Sean.
Crazy Rod says, Niners should be buyers for the Jets edge rusher. Well, this is a great segue into this question because I didn't have it on the docket, Coach. We always fly by the seat of our pants anyways, I feel like. So
let's do it.
Let's just talk about it because this is a great comment and it leads to a great question from Bobo. He says, do you think that they should make a trade anytime soon to help the defense or offense? Now, I will say in the past, the last couple of weeks, I've been very staunch in saying this is not a Super Bowl team. Do not waste your future assets. I don't remember where you were at with it, Coach. I feel like you were the same. Have you changed your mind on this? Do you feel like now this team should make a trade and try to go for it this year?
This is complicated. Yes and no. One of them, no, because it's all about championship windows and making it to the playoffs. And what I've seen thus far in the first quarter of the season, we can make the playoffs with our current roster, especially with the schedule that we're about to finish and go see. Also, you gotta understand this is a living and breathing situation. We're getting better, right? As far as injuries, guys are coming back. Malik Mustafa is slotted to come back. We still got to get BA back. We still got to get George back, right? So the team could look completely different. And right now, getting a player would be, I looked at it, what is getting a player would be to stop the bleeding. But we're not bleeding. So now that's for the no side. Now, yes, is we beating some people that I did not think we were going to beat. Let's just be real. All right. The team is clipping at a trajectory that is forecasting more than what was predicted. I had us going 10-7. I'm very comfortable with 10-7 right now, where we stand. Even better. Now, if the Niners feel as though that, hey, getting Malik back, getting, Kalia Davis back at some point, the development of Mikael Williams, CJ West, and Alfred Collins, the young guys, that's not enough, and we need to protect ourselves to get the guys over the hump. They've earned the ability to go get a guy. They've earned it. I can see that side too, right? Where it's like, look, we're 4-1. We're 4-1 with no pass rush. We're 4-1 with no turnovers. We're 4-1 with no run game or rushing touchdowns. Tons of injuries. I mean, some people may say that this is the organization, taking heed, saying like, all right, man, what do you want to do? How much do you want them to produce to show that they need help before the bottom falls out? Is that when you want to start looking for somebody to help us out? So from what they've done right now, yes, man, anybody who's smart understands that you can change your opinion with new information. We have new information, and that information has shown me that the Niners are a live body. They are not wilting away. And if the organization feels as though that they need to get a pass rush so they can continue this type of play, meaning that how much can we rely on our rookies and our young guys to play and go through the attrition of that rookie wall that's coming up without a pass rush, without another veteran to help to get them through. So that's coming up too. That's a real thing too. Now, pre-Nick Bosa, right, going down and certain guys going down, I was vehemently against it, right? Because it would have just been, I feel like for purposes, but for optics. But for me, I see that, hey, man, they need to get somebody to help them out. Also, I'd like them to get somebody in a way where I feel like most of these guys, I don't want Hendrickson because he's looking for Bosa money. I wouldn't want him, but I would like to get somebody that can come in and be opposite of Bryce Huff and actually give us like a live body. Thibodeau from the Giants, that may seem like something. But yeah, like I said, no, because I just love the way they're playing right now. We got guys coming back, and we would like to see what that looks like. And if you can, you would. Yes, because they've earned the right to have this discussion. They've put themselves in this discussion. Like, do we need somebody else to keep this going? And they've earned that. I wouldn't be upset either way.
So the 49ers, a lot of people made a bunch of, without Bosa, they look the same. And no, they don't. EPA is a team stat, not a quarterback stat. So for those that tout it as a quarterback stat, they're idiots. However, it is a team stat. And weeks 1 and 2 with Bosa on pure pass rush sets, they were number 3 in EPA. Without Bosa, they're number 26. They miss him.
It's a drop off.
It's a big deal. It's a major drop off. So I've been against trading future assets and taking on a bunch of money. Hendrickson still doesn't fit the bill for me because you're going to give up quite a bit, and you are going to either rent him or spend a ton of money to keep him. Mm-hmm. Thibodeau does and always has fit the bill, but even then it was like, okay, well, you're going to give up like a 4th round pick. I don't want to do that. I do have a trade that I'm actually really comfortable with.
Talk to me.
And I want to run this one by you. And who knows? I don't watch other people's content. If somebody else has brought this up, kudos to them.
Give me the team.
It's the Giants still, and it's still Thibodeau. But the trade is Brandon Ayuk for Thibodeau. And here's my reasoning behind it.
Malik
the Giants have a young quarterback in Jackson Dart, and Malik Neighbors is out, to your point. He could use a receiver to kind of help keep his confidence going. And even when Neighbors is back, they can use another guy. They have a ton of pass rushers. So they certainly can let one go here. You're not giving up future draft picks by doing this.
The money is awesome.
You're clearing up future money by doing this. And there seems to have been a rift between Ayuk and the organization for a long time here. This is the perfect trade, and it would bring back full circle. I don't know if many people remember this, but it was 3 seasons ago when Brandon Ayuk had the catch and his helmet came off and he was holding his mouthpiece, or the helmet by his mouthpiece. And that picture went so hard. And then somebody photoshopped him in a Giants uniform with that picture, and he went and liked that picture.
I remember that.
That would be a full circle moment. The 49ers are winning, and they're okay on offense so far without Brandon Ayuk. I love Brandon Ayuk, and I do believe that a healthy Brandon Ayuk is still the best receiver on this team. However, they have had enough guys step up for this year, and they have enough ancillary pieces that they can figure out receiver next year. But Thibodeau is a young pass rusher. He can stick around when Bosa's back. It's not going to matter. And because Ayuk hasn't yet played, that can make a lot of sense, and it helps them gain future assets, in my opinion, by making this move. What do you think?
I like it in theory, but I just don't see it money-wise.
Okay.
Right now, the Giants, the reason why the Niners will be doing this, well, let me put it like this. If the Niners pull this off, it would really have to be because they're at odds, like they're not feeling each other. And the reason why I say that is because just the money just doesn't make sense. Kayvon Thibodeau we can more than afford Kayvon, but the Giants have $1.4 million in total cap space. Unless the Niners eat most of BA's contract in order to get him over there,
they're going to eat a lot this year. They're going to have to do that to facilitate that trade, but he's on the books anyways. So you might as well eat that to get rid of future cap assets is what I'm saying. You're clearing up for the future. This, again, for me, everything that I do and every thought that I have is about 2026 forward. That keeping 2026 in the forefront is my main priority. This allows you to be competitive this year while also keeping 2026 in the 26, 27 in the future in the forefront. That's why I bring it up.
Okay, right now I'm looking for Brandon Ayuk on the case. I guess he's not on there because he's hurt. He's on the little whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we would eat the money. We're still looking good.
You don't have to like it. I'll tell you right now, someone in your chats, DeAndre, says it's the dumbest shit he's ever heard, but I still love you. That's fine. Listen, I'll take the criticism, DeAndre. But you got to come to me with a solution. Why is it the dumbest shit?
You just can't shit on it.
You can't just say it's the dumbest shit. Why is it the dumbest shit, and what would you do instead? I don't want to give up a 4th round pick for him. I don't want to give up future assets. I just don't. So that's why I propose this trade.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Jesse. My biggest thing is just fiscally, I think that the Niners, if the Niners moved on from BA to the Giants specifically, I think we'd be taking a loss. We'd be looking immediately for what Kayvon Thibodeau can do for us, which is awesome. But at the same time, though, and how many years is left on his deal, Kayvon? I
think he's got next year too. I want to say he's under contract next year. I could be wrong.
Yeah, he's got 1 more year. You're right. He's got 1 more year. His cap, that's the big year though. His cap hit is $14 million, which is pocket change to us compared to what we shell out to people.
Right.
So that's nothing. We can more than afford him. He's super young, 25. I mean, if the Giants were crazy enough to do it, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Because this year he's going to fill in for Bosa, but next year he'll be the Huff replacement, right? Because Huff's only here for the year. So he'll just slide in and replace Huff, and then Bosa will be back. That's my thought.
Yeah. I think Tom just said that the Giants picked up his option.
Yeah. His 5th year. So that means that we got him next year. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, why would answer this? Why would the Giants want to trade Kayvon Thibodeau?
Well, first of all, they're not winning anything this year.
Okay.
They've got an abundance of, I mean, you've got Carter, you've got Buddy that they traded from Carolina. You've got interior like the defensive line is still going to be very solid without Kayvon. And you've got Jackson Dart, who's now starting, who didn't get to play with Malik Neighbors.
Right.
The last thing you want to do is crush this kid's confidence. I mean, he's looked pretty good for the most part. When you watch him snap in and snap, for having nothing around him, you got to surround him with some talent. You got to. You got a young quarterback on a rookie deal. That's when you spend the money on the weapons to help him out. And Neighbors is going to be out not only this year, but a chunk probably into next year. And you're going to want somebody that you can trust, and BA is that guy. So that's my thought process. Yeah, and again, they're not going to pay a lot of money this year for him. Yes, they'll have to pick up everything next year, but who cares, right? Like, you can make it work.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. Right now is that I do see us having no pass rush. You do want to get your best bang for the buck player that's going to help, that's going to rise all boats, right? From that standpoint, it is a pass rush. A pass rush gets everything going. A pass rush not only gets to the quarterback, but takes pressure off your DBs. We start getting more turnovers, getting off the field quicker. I'm not opposed to it at all. I'm really not. I thought that I could kind of man every situation with this team because I just didn't think that they were that cohesive as a unit. I never thought that they were a bad team, but throughout the years and just how the team is utilized and how the money gets in the way of the logic sometimes, I just didn't see themselves getting out of their own way to do everything that they could to win games this season. And they've proved me wrong. They've done just that. They're leaving no stone unturned. Especially after watching the way they did last season. What was frustrating about last year is that we didn't have to lose 6 games. We could have won we could have won a lot more games than last year. But yeah, Jess, to wrap up the topic, I'm not opposed to Kayvon Thibodeaux at all. My only thing is just
Steven brings up a good point. If you're eating a bunch of money, you might be able to get a pick as well. Honestly, you may be able to get Kayvon and a pick. May not be the great, but even if it's a 5th, you know what I mean? Or maybe you give up a 5th and get a 4th. If you give up BA and a 5th for Kayvon and a 4th, like that's a real possibility if you're eating money.
Dayball?
What was that?
Is Dayball still over there?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he'd take BA.
So
he's on the hot seat, man. They're about to get his ass out of there.
I think this is a real possibility that you could. I don't think it's likely going to happen or anything like that, but is it like, if it was proposed, would it be that preposterous? I don't think that it would be. If you're like, hey, we'll send BA and a 5th for Kayvon and a 4th, I think that's a real thing. And
I don't know, man.
A bunch of BA's money.
It's a little bit of a sexy name, Kayvon Thibodeaux. I just don't. My biggest thing is that the Giants, I just don't see the need of them trading like a 26-year-old pass rusher, bro. Who there's nothing wrong with this kid. That just. It doesn't seem realistic.
He's not even the number. He's not. Listen, like he's not. He's their 3rd best edge rusher.
They picked literally up his 5th option, though, Jesse. They obviously investing in him.
Well, yeah, obviously, but that also could be like, hey, we want to trade him eventually. You know what I mean? We don't want him to get out the door with nothing.
That's true.
They drafted Carter, who's phenomenal. They already went and traded for Buddy from Carolina, who we already know is established in the league and is a killer. So he's literally their 3rd best pass rusher, edge rusher. Their 3rd
Deez
best.
is wilding out. Deez said, "Just give him Jacob Cowing."
Yeah, that's how that works. I wish. My gosh. Okay, let's do this real quick. Hold on a second here. Hold on. Do we got? Is this on mine now too? Oh. We're going to ban this user. Somehow they made their way over to mine, and I didn't even realize it. So the NFL game stream, they made it over to
because I have my back end of my live up, so I'm reporting him and blocking him every time he comes up. So I know he just moved over to yours.
Yeah, he just moved over to mine, so I just blocked him. That's crazy. Crazy, man, crazy. All right, well, let's do some sleeper, brother. Let's do some sleep. And I have to say, listen, if you're hesitant about using Sleeper, you don't even have to put a deposit in. If you use promo code LSS, you're going to get a $20 free entry. You don't even have to deposit any money. So now is the time to play Sleeper. Promo code LSS, download the app, $20 free entry, no deposit required. This is your time. So if you've been on the fence for any reason, there are no excuses. You get a free $20. Just play. All right.
Just do it.
Promo code LSS. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. But we got to make some sleeper picks. And the Monday night game's already started, which means we're moving to Thursday night. We're going to take our free Jalen Hurts. Listen, I know that Hurts doesn't throw for a lot of yards, but I can promise you he's going to get you at least one. All right. So this is a freebie. Take it. All right. So Barkley against his old team. Does he get in the end zone, Coach?
Of course.
Yeah, he does. Okay. All right. All right.
He's the offense over there. Listen, you know what I was saying about Jalen Hurts last year? You know what I was saying about Jalen Hurts? I told you that I didn't think I didn't think Jalen Hurts was better than Brock Purdy. I told you that last year. And he's on a very talented team, but I feel like there's a little bit of what I've been saying about Jalen Hurts that's coming to the surface. People are seeing it.
I think it's always been there. Jalen Hurts has never been my style of quarterback. I just, at some point, like, you can't continue to deny him when he's always every time they get to the playoffs, he balls out. Like, regardless of what happens, that dude, at the very least, is an absolute gamer when it's the most important because he plays his best football then. You got to give him credit for that at least.
Yeah.
At least. Jackson Dart. Speaking of Jackson Dart, 175.5 is pretty low. Are you going more or less on Jackson Dart? In fact, you know what I just learned? Check this out. This is cool. I learned this on my trip. You can tease things up or down. So, for example, let's say you're like, 175 seems a little high, not really sure what to do here. You can tease it down to 150 yards.
What?
Or you can tease it up all the way up to 275 yards if you're feeling confident. Now, your multiplier goes down. Right now, it's a 1.77x multiplier on 175 yards. But if you're like, that's right in the middle, but I feel good about 150, we'll take more on the 150. We'll tease it and get a 1.35. You can do that. And in fact, that's what we're going to do because 175 does seem kind of tough. I'm not going to lie.
It does.
So we're going to tease that one down here real quick. All right. And then, let's see, rushing yards. See if we can get a rushing yards one in here. Jalen Hurts. Oh, I'm going to tease this one too. This teaser. Okay. Do we feel good about 25 plus rushing yards?
For Jalen Hurts? Of course.
Yeah. He's 41.5 is what. You know what? I'm just going to start being safe. I don't care. We're putting 10 on it. A little small one here. 10 to win 25. We're going to keep it. It doesn't have to be a $600 every time, which is, I was one pick away. Can I tell you this? If Demarcus Robinson had gotten a touchdown, I would have put 10 down and won over 600.
What?
Sleeper. Yep. If he one touchdown away, CMC went less on the rushing yards. I had more on for Mac Jones and Bourne and a bunch of other people. And Demarcus Robinson was a touchdown away from winning $600. That one hurt a little bit, not going to lie. But you can play sleeper too. Again, you can get your free 20 bones. You don't even have to put money in. Now's the time. Promo code LSS. Check them out. All right, let's get back into it. This question has been on the back burner all night long, and it's time to talk about it. Bobo brings it up. Says, do you guys think if Mac Jones wins this game, there will be a quarterback controversy? Now, let me lay the stage. We have talked about it off and on, quarterback controversy. Should there be? Should there not be? Adam Schefter was asked today, and he said he doesn't think. Now, this is not saying he knows, but he says he doesn't believe that there would be a quarterback controversy, that when Brock is back, it's his team, and that's the way that he left it. So if Mac were to win this week, would that change anything? And let's say Brock came back this week. Who do you think would start?
Well, the Brock is back. He's starting.
Okay. So then the question is does this game change that? Does beating the Bucks change that? You just beat the Rams, and then if you beat the Bucks, that's arguably the two toughest games on your schedule back to back on the road, both of them. That'd be pretty impressive, man. It'd be pretty impressive.
It would be. Let's cut to the chase.
Yeah, I was like,
Is
quit
this a quarterback
pussyfooting around it.
controversy or is it not? Right. And in my opinion, it's not. Two things have to happen in order for it to be a quarterback controversy. One is Mac has to continue to play at this level. Okay. He doesn't have to go, what was it, 33 for 49? He doesn't have to like do all of that, but Mac has to be consistent, right? He has to show starting quality caliber of play, right? And with that, that's one side of it. And then secondly, when Brock comes back, the floor is going to have to fall out, right? And we're going to have to look at Brock and clearly see this ain't it. And we just got to watch 6-7 weeks of whatever with Mac, and we all know what's going on with Mac. Now, that's the second side of it. Now, the reason why I'm bringing it up this way is because one thing that will not happen is that if Max seems to be playing more games than he should, that's the Niners realizing that once they put Brock out there, they cannot sit him back down. So they're waiting to make sure that Brock is 100% back and ready to play, because there's no world where Brock comes back after they already screwed up by rushing him back. So they screwed that up. So now when he comes back, he's got to be healthy. All right. There's no world where Brock comes back healthy. They've lost the excuse of, well, we didn't know he was ready to play. He's not playing good because he's hurt. No. You sat him down the first time because of that. Now, if he's not good, that means that we got a whole rest of the season to watch that, because there's no scenario where Brock gets benched and everybody does not realize that you got benched in the inaugural season of your new contract. All right. So, and there's no way that they can bench him and say that it's the injury, because that's what he's sitting for now. So when Brock comes back, he's back for the whole season. They're never going to see Mac again. Mac, he's flying really close to the sun, but Mac is living his games game by game, right? He's playing against the Bucs, we think. We'll see what he does next week. And then let's say if Mac plays 3 to 4 more games and he lights it up, and then Brock comes back and he's shit in the bed, then we will have set the stage for the next offseason, which is a quarterback controversy. It'll be a quarterback controversy based off of what transpired through the season. But there's going to be I don't see, I could be wrong, but I don't see a scenario where Mac gets the job, where Brock gets hurt, Mac starts, plays, gets the job, starts, and is the starter all in 17 games. That's way too fast. This has got to cook for a little bit.
Okay. I don't disagree with that. I actually think that's probably the right answer. Should there be a quarterback controversy is a whole different question, though.
Of course. There should be. Come on. Mac Jones is coming in here and operating the offense at a level that we haven't seen before. And I hate to say that because we said that about Brock, but Brock was just different from what we had seen. Mac is doing this with nobody. You know what I mean? Mac is, and you know what? We could talk about numbers and stats and all that, and whatever. There's a place for that. I get it. But what really matters is that Mac is elevating the team. He is the reason why we're winning. They are following him. There's no other recourse to understand why this offense is moving, and we haven't scored a rushing touchdown. We're averaging less than 4.0 yards on the ground. The offensive line, what were the stats that we came up with, Mac? Like, dude, Matt Stacks, for those of you who are like, oh, well, the offensive line deserves their kudos. They do. I get it, because they kind of stayed out of the way. But Mac made them look really good. You got to be honest, bro. You want to talk about kept clean? Out of 72% of Mac's dropbacks, 36 of those reps, he was kept clean. He was under pressure for only 28% of all of his dropbacks, and that's only 14 attempts. He was not blitzed 67% of all of his dropbacks. And when he was blitzed, which was 24%, he only got blitzed 12 times. All right. The completion percentage for when he was blitzed was 50%, not blitzed 73%. Under pressure, he still hit over 61.5. And when he was kept clean, he was throwing for 69.4. That's a cool 70%. Like, he's getting the ball out. He's not letting the offensive line even be a factor. He's finding the checkdowns. He understands the moment. He's not playing games, and he's taking his spots when he has them. I mean, Mac Jones he's elevating the offense. And honestly, Mac Jones was in a situation where most fans of Brock and guys that, really are there for Brock, they wouldn't even have let the scenario play out because there weren't enough starters playing. The average fan wouldn't even have judged Brock on his performance in this game because we've never seen Brock with a team this depleted and expected him to perform that way. I've never seen it.
Absolutely. No, you're right. You're right about that. Dude, these spammers are out of control.
They're on us.
Tonight.
I just put shields on. I'm deputizing people in my channel, in my chat.
Me too. I did. Hey, Dave, I just made you
I'm deputizing people right now.
I made you. I don't know why you weren't before, but I gave you a wrench. You can go through and delete these comments.
I deputized Shields. I'm about to get some more people in here, bro. We gotta corral we gotta corral Billy the Kid in his gang of thieves.
This is wild, bro. I've never seen such a thing.
I bequeath you as a managing moderator, Tom. Have at it.
Jeez, man. Get rid of these scrubs, dude. What is going on? Usually, like, if you set it to like a 1 minute deal, like you have to subscribe and it's 1 minute, then it's good to go.
Yeah.
But tonight, man, it's not working. Gosh, maybe I didn't set it. I don't know. Either way, but talking about this, yes, it should be a quarterback controversy. What are we talking about here? Like, listen, at the very least, anybody who thought that those of us that said do not pay Brock Purdy because you can find an ample replacement at a much cheaper price, were off their rocker. This is that proof. This is exactly what we were talking about. This is why you don't pay non-elite quarterbacks. And anybody who is on the other side of that conversation, you've been proven wrong. Right?
Yeah.
Like this is that. And the whole point again was not, hey, you can find somebody better than who are you going to get to replace Brock? It's not about finding somebody better. It's about getting somebody who can do pretty much what he does, maybe a little bit less, but for a fraction of the cost. And guys are out there. Mac Jones is proving it. If Daniel Jones was in this offense, he would have proven it. There's guys available to do this, and we see it year in and year out. So it just, Brock's fine. And Brock might be better than Mac. I'm not even making the argument that Mac is better than Brock. I don't know the answer to that. But what I am saying is it's close enough, and that's not good. That is not good for a guy that you just paid the money that you paid Brock, where it's like, man, I could have saved a lot of money and just gone with Mac Jones. Mac's already earned his contract. 3 wins. Beating a team like the Rams on the road with no weapons. Listen, if Brock Purdy would have done that, Coach, Brock Purdy mites would have gone crazy. We would have never heard the end of it if Brock Purdy had done what Mac Jones just did with nobody, literally nobody. And the reason Brock didn't play well against the Jags, like, well, what's he supposed to do? He didn't have anybody to throw to. All right. Well, what about Mac, who had less? He didn't have Pearsall and Jennings. And he went on the road on Thursday night with a hurt knee, by the way. It's not like Mac Jones isn't hurt. Mac Jones is out there dealing
he's
with
Paul
a hurt
Bunyan
leg.
in it, bro. Come on.
I mean, give this man credit. It's absolutely insane. So, and this is coming from a guy I'm willing to change my opinion. I didn't like Mac coming out of college. I thought he was arrogant. This is the Baker Mayfield thing all over for me. I thought he was arrogant. I thought he was better, or felt like he was better than his team or the game. And I didn't think he was good enough to have that sort of arrogance. But he's a completely different person now. He's gone through his trials. He's gone through his tribulations. He's very coachable. He's very likable. And he's turning into a pretty good leader. The fact that we're even having the conversation, and it's a legitimate conversation to have, it's not like we're pulling this out of our ass, is scary for me. when you've just paid somebody to be your franchise quarterback. And it's like, well, I mean, the $8 million guy can do it too at a pretty damn high level. It's just, I feel like it was a big waste. And even if you love Brock, imagine if you hadn't paid him and done what I was suggesting, and probably you were suggesting, Coach, and a lot of other people, which is, hey, maybe just make him play out his last year and see. Worst case scenario, you end up paying him $58 million a year. Who cares? Best case scenario, you end up paying him $25 million a year, which is exactly what would have happened if you had just waited one more year. And
they were all laughing at us when we were saying that 35 to 40 was the ceiling. Right? When we were like, yo, I wouldn't pay him more than 40, bro. I would not pay him more than 40. But hey, man, it's where we stand right now. I love it because the narratives are literally writing themselves. We don't have to push anything. We don't have to get it. We don't have to highlight anything or rub something off just to show people like, hey, you see the picture? You kind of get it now. It's all sitting on the surface. Right now, the 49ers are shaking in their boots because their quarterback doesn't look to be better than the backup. And that's something you don't want to see when you first sign a guy. If anything, as far as confidence is concerned, the confidence is at the highest that it'll ever be. Right now, it's his first year. They just signed him. So the fact that we're going through this right now, and all it took was a journeyman quarterback from two teams to come in and do this. I mean, there's a lot of people. I'm of a mindset to think that Sam Darnold could have did this shit, but he just didn't have enough reps.
Of course he could have done it. And the crazy thing is this isn't even like putting down Mac or Purdy, because not every quarterback can do it. In fact, you had brought up Justin Fields earlier today.
You're like, no.
And I was like, no, absolutely no. Justin Fields here would have been a disaster, bro. A disaster. And I've always believed that, because he doesn't play on time and in rhythm. You have to have quarterbacks that can. Jalen Hurts would be a disaster here, an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
Kyle would hate every second of it. So no, not every quarterback can do it. And Jalen Hurts, for all intents and purposes, is a more proven, higher ranked quarterback than both the guys what we're talking about. But that doesn't mean that he fits better in this system, because he doesn't. He doesn't fit better in this system, and it wouldn't have worked here. So that's the whole point, is not every guy can do it, but there is a lot of guys who can. There is a lot of guys. Daniel Jones, yes.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, yes. Mac Jones, yes. There are guys.
All right, so let me ask you this. We've been watching football our whole lives, man.
Mm-hmm.
Place Mac Jones right now. Place him. Is he Kurt Warner coming in for Trent Green? Is he Ryan Tannehill? Or not Ryan Tannehill, but what's the journeyman quarterback? The kid that went to the Ryan Fitzpatrick? You know, like, place him. What is Mac Jones right now?
I mean, I don't know if I have a player comp, but like if I'm just ranking him in the league, like he's still a low end starter. I mean, we're talking, at best, what is he, the 25th best quarterback in the league? At best. And it's the reality of the point of this. I don't agree
with that, though, Jesse.
It's not to sell you that Mac Jones. Listen, we can't go down this path where it's like, oh, Jimmy Garoppolo's great. He gets replaced. Brock Purdy's better. Well, then Brock Purdy's great. Well, he gets replaced and Mac Jones is better. Well, Mac Jones, they're not great. They're just, none of them are great. It's okay. None of them are great. And they all work phenomenally in this system because they fit Kyle and what he wants. None of them are great. None of them are, but that's why you don't pay any of these jokers.
All right, so are we with Mac? Is this a fluke? Is this real? Can Mac stay consistent? How much of this is we haven't seen enough of Mac yet? And sorry for cutting you off, but how much of this is we haven't seen enough of Mac yet in us to start understanding his flaws, or versus Mac finally is in a stable environment? Mac has never been on a team with this type of coaching offensively, where he could sit back and he could go into a ready-made situation that's waiting for a backup quarterback to do what he needs to do. And this is the time that he needs. This is the space that he needs in order for him to blossom. Is that so? How much of that is the former versus the latter.
Can it be both? I mean, you're getting the. What I mean is like this is the best Mac Jones because he is put into a good situation. Like good situations make players better, right? Daniel Jones is in a great situation, but is Daniel Jones great? No, Mac Jones. But I do think this is repeatable. Go ahead.
Can I say something?
Yeah,
it's a little different though. Mac Jones isn't just in a better situation, but Mac Jones is in a better situation cognitively. But I don't think that he's necessarily in a better situation player-wise.
I mean, Bourne was his number one receiver with the Patriots too.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that I ain't never seen Kendrick Bourne play like that in New England.
No, that's true. That's true.
So I don't know. Like I could see if we were all back and we were all healthy and Mac was just kind of driving the car, you know, just, hey man, no turns, just 10-2. Just don't drive it off the road. I think that this will be a little bit more sobering. Like, we get it. He won, but you know, Brandon Ayuk's there, George Kittle's there, Christian McCaffrey's there. We get it. He's doing what a backup should do. We're not the same. And he's winning with this squad. What does that mean for you?
No, I listen, what I think Mac is doing is very repeatable, right? Mac could do this for a long time because he's playing within the offense and he's playing within himself. He's not trying to do anything crazy. Like you look at that throwing chart, it was nothing special, but it was frustrating the hell out of the Rams, so much so that it was reported that he got the ball out so quick that they're just like, well, what are we supposed to do? And then guys made plays. What Mac is doing, he can repeat. But you better not pay him $265 million when his contract runs up because he can do this. Like, that's the whole point. Yes, he can do this, and it can last for a while, but we've seen this before. It doesn't mean you then pay the guy. It's just, all right, thank you. You're 2 years, $8 million's up, and we'll go find the next guy. Like, that's the way that I see it. You can replace Mac Jones, just like you can replace Brock Purdy. And
so
you
don't think Mac Jones,
Jimmy Garoppolo.
You think Mac Jones is an asset only because of what he's doing right now? You don't see any type of
He's an asset because of the money that he's making right now. If he continued to do this and if he was making $53 million, I'd be having the same conversation the other way. If Brock Purdy was Brock Purdy, I'd be like, why do we pay Mac Jones? Brock Purdy can come in and do a lot of the same things.
So
what are we doing?
God, man. So you be keeping the main thing. If keep the same energy was a person. So this has nothing to do with Mac with you. This is all about just exposing Brock.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if it's about the money, if Mac was the one making $53 million, I would be saying, see, you shouldn't have paid him. You had Brock right there for cheap. Just roll with Brock. It's all about the money.
So how does this play out in your eyes? What does this do? Is this just a cool experiment to look at? Put your balls on this. Where's the fallout? What happens? How does this affect the 49ers? Or is this just a backup who's doing well that eventually is just going to get put on the bench and then we're over with this whole story?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty likely scenario unless Brock continues to get injured. But what it does is it proves that Brock should have never been paid. I mean, you can't unsee this now. It can't be unseen, right? I don't know that it affects the way that it affects the 49ers is assets. You're not going to get the same assets because Brock's going to eventually make a lot of money.
Okay.
It may affect the 49ers to where they say, hey, after next year, they do exercise the right to move on from Brock Purdy because they're like, hey, he's not special. We could have done it with Mac. We could have done it with Sam. We could do it with Daniel Jones. So that's a possibility, but it's not going to affect them game in and game out while Brock is here. But it should affect this fan base, the way that we view the quarterback position. The argument was never that Brock Purdy's a bad player because he's not. Brock Purdy is a good player.
No, he's not bad. He's a starter.
The argument is that Brock Purdy is not elite and he never will be. And he's never going to be a consistent top 10 guy. And if he wasn't on this team, he would be in the 20s. That's the argument. And we're fucking seeing it every time Mac Jones goes out there and plays. And quite frankly, is doing it a little bit better than Brock is this year. It's just the reality.
Dog, I agree. Throw up Tom's comment. Tom just gave us the fly in the ointment, dog.
And thank you. The Maple Missile might be
The
it.
Maple Missile, baby.
I tweeted this out the other day. I said it's all fun and games until the Maple Missile does exactly what these two guys are doing. Then your guys' heads will really explode. And that might be a possibility. Rourke might be. I'm with you on this, Tom. That's a possibility.
You go back, honestly, this kid had a whole year on a torn ACL. Okay. Curtis Rourke is low-key a ball player, bro. Go back and look at his the last year he had at Indiana. That kid's got a lot of talent, man. I'm telling you.
I know. I'm not, listen, I don't know what Rourke's going to be, but would anybody in here, after what we've seen with Jimmy and what we've seen with Brock and what we're watching with Mac, would any of you be shocked if Curtis Rourke 2 years from now came in and was the same guy roughly? I don't think you can say that. You shouldn't be saying that. And if you still think that Brock is special, and then you're going to double down on that and be like, well, I mean, Brock and Mac are both special. The F out of here with that garbage, because it's just not true. It's not.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So I like the way you've kind of explained your perspective on this. Mm-hmm. So for you, you're not really worried about the surface level narrative of the quarterback competition. You could care less. What this really does is this highlights the premature signing of Brock. And it also shows that whoever we sign at this position, based off of the offense alone, quarterback should not be a position that we put a lot of money into, full stop, unless we get a guy that clearly is special.
Unless you get a dude, man. It's got to be a guy, and that's the only ones. And it's got to be so obvious that it's undeniable, and it never was with Brock. I'm sorry. It just never was, man. There shouldn't be. Listen, if there was a clear-cut guy, there wouldn't be a single content creator saying or questioning whether it's the guy. If you got one content creator questioning, you might want to just look side-eye, because that represents the fan base too, right? Like, we all have our own opinions. You've got content creators that are total homers, and they're going to back everything the team does and make everything sound great. There are fans that are like that. Then there are guys that are going to question things and push back a little bit. There are fans that do that. Then you got guys that are completely pessimistic on everything. There are fans like that. So in one way or another, every content creator, and the 49ers have a plethora of them, we're all different types. We represent some segment of the fan base, no matter what. When you have a Josh Allen or one of those guys, everybody will fall in line. Everybody will fall in line. And when that happens, that's when you know you got a dude. The fact that a bunch of us were like, hey, you might not want to pay him. You knew he wasn't a guy, man. You just knew it. You knew he wasn't a guy. So, all right, let's get these supers. Jason 49ers says, Coach, never laughed so hard in my life as when I watched the Rams watch along back. Your reactions were chef's kiss. Love the
We had a good time, man. Thank you, Jason. We have a good time over at the Coach's Huddle, man. Come check out the live shows, guys.
Sean says team expectations are different with Mac. If you go get a pass rusher, can the defense carry us to the conference championship? If we're rolling with Brock Purdy, no trades, he is not a closer. You got to protect the ball, and you got to win on D. Again, the fact that we have a large segment of this fan base right now that is
crazy
to like elevate Mac above Brock. That it's just wild, bro. It's wild that.
And Sean, you know what's crazy? Sean gives fire takes. He always comes in if like we're coming in too hot. Sean's like, all right, man. Like, he gives balanced takes, and the facts that Sean is on this, it's telling, bro.
It is telling. Paul III says, Jesse, after years of 49ers being top and the most injured, I'm not surprised they are now experts. That they are now experts in adapting. Oh, our team is falling apart. The Ravens. Yeah. Okay. We call that Tuesday. Niners fan. Yeah. Okay. I got you. Yeah.
True.
All right. I butchered the hell out of that. I apologize. But your point is that Ravens are going through it. They're not used to playing injured.
They ain't used to this.
It's normal for us. You're right. Tuesday is when all the announcements happen of the injuries. So well played. Cass says our running back room needs some help. Yeah.
Is Jordan James good, man?
Hold on. Do they need help or do they just need to test the waters and play
do
a
they
Jordan
need to
James?
play
That's a great
everybody
question.
first?
Can we see him?
Can we just
Great
play
call.
him? Like that? I don't get this.
Too Much Sauce says, is Mac Jones outplayed a $7 million contract? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Sean says, scenario 3, Brock gets hurt again. Swan song. That's a possibility.
So true.
The Unbeaten with Keith says, Jesse, SoFi is not a road game. All right, well, whatever. It doesn't matter. They still traveled. Tommy says the Lambs had no answer for an off-the-street KB. No doubt, dude. He went crazy. Corey says, thoughts on Whitner saying run game is failing because Debo is gone. He went pretty in-depth. I don't believe he's lost a step, man. He's just lost
honestly
a step.
All right, so let's
if 2023 CMC was still around, that wouldn't be a problem, bro.
Let me tell you this, man. The beauty of Debo Samuel being on offense is that we automatically take aggression of the line of scrimmage and we instantly put it on the edges of the field. That's what made Debo Samuel so special. Being able to give a guy like that the ball against corners, safeties, outside of the box, and letting the offensive line catch up, creating flow, and coming off of it, reversing field, sometimes off of jet screens and rocket screens and reverses and all that good stuff, the end arounds that we've seen Debo run. All of that's awesome. But the truth is that it was a caveat for the fact that our offensive line back then still wasn't good. It's the O-line, bro. It is the offensive line. Truth be told, Christian McCaffrey is not what he used to be, but he's still a good running back. He still can play. You know what it is? He just can't make the offensive line look good anymore. That's how we know he's lost a step. Okay? So the facts are the facts, bro. This offensive line, from tackle to tackle, there's about 3 of those guys that would not start on other NFL teams. It's the O-line.
I figured out my problem. It was my fault. That's why I'm getting spammed so hard, and you probably are too. If you don't put subscribers only in the chat and set it to 1 minute, people can spam like crazy. That's I don't know what's crazy. I never get spammed like this.
I never forget it either, and I forgot to do the subscribers only.
Same. I don't know why. Why did I forget that? That's crazy. That's asinine. My bad, guys. I'm sorry about the user experience or the watcher experience. This is stupid. All right. One more. Sean says, Mac is Nick Foles with the Eagles. Maybe. Get us a Super Bowl, man. We'll take it. I'll take that. Hell yeah.
You know what? Put up Howdy's comment, because I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great point. That's a great point. He is in a contract here.
I know him, bro. We know Tyshawn.
Yeah, he's not going to get re-signed, by the way.
Come on, man.
Not by them,
All of a sudden, come on, man. Stop.
You're right. Rookie mistake. My bad. I see you. Justin says, all this being said, Brock can live up to the deal if they ever put...
Yo, Jesse, they will never change, bro. It's not even a Brock thing. It's just... I'll read it out. Let me finish. He paid his $4.99. Justin, all this being said, Brock can live up to the deal if they ever put a serious offensive line in front of him. Even Mac will get hurt soon behind this shit. Bro, again, Jesse, do you want to do it? Listen, it's not about the offensive line, bro. Okay? If Brock would have played and performed like this with this team, with this offensive line, dude, you guys would be, come on, man. You guys would be immortalizing him, okay? Let's just be honest. So the facts is that it's not like you're watching Mac utilize a version of the team that Brock doesn't have access to. That's not what we're watching here. On the contrary, we're watching Mac actually do more with less, and he's actually doing more with what less than what Brock has had in the past. So, guys, listen, Brock is a starter in the league, but I think that his persona, his story His play has got to catch up with that because I think he's a little imbalanced in that regard.
My goodness sakes. I don't even know what to say to this. I feel like every word that I've said has just fallen on deaf ears with you, Justin. Respect. I appreciate you for watching. I think you might be on Coach's channel too. And
Justin's my dog, man.
Regardless of where you're at,
opinions are welcome, bro.
They are. We appreciate. I guess the point is, you part of this is right, which is the offensive line sucks, and they do need a better offensive line. You're 1000% right about that. We agree there. However, when you're paying somebody that kind of money, something has to give. Either the O-line, the weapon, something. And that's where, if you're going to get paid like an elite quarterback, you got to figure out how to work around it.
Yeah.
If Mac can figure out how to work around it, Brock needs to figure out how to work around it. You hear me? And yes, Mac very well may get injured behind this offensive line. That is a realistic possibility. But that doesn't then prove that Brock was worth paying. It doesn't.
You know what else Mac is proving too? Mac is kind of Mac is also
Is that me that froze or is that you that froze? I think that's Coach that froze. All right. Well, either way, there he is. Hold on. There we go. I thought it was me. I usually freeze at this time of night.
Yeah. So I was saying that Mac is really proving. You know what he's also doing? He's kind of putting a little bit of a patina or a shade on Brock's athleticism. He's
it doesn't mean anything. Like Brock might be, I don't know, passing up checkdowns and running into sacks.
Yeah, like you don't need to do all that running around that Brock does. Like all of that evading that gets masked as scrambling ability and Brock's 10-yard split and all of that stuff. Like, dude, a lot of Brock's injuries have been because of him scrambling and running out of the pocket and passing the line of scrimmage. I got to be honest, as far as attributes are concerned, one for one, Brock is far more faster and fleet of foot than Mac. But as far as athleticism is concerned, Mac is utilizing the pocket far better than Brock. He's and I get it. A lot of that's almost like saying Brock's anticipation is so awesome. Well, it's like, yeah, he's got a weak arm. So a lot of the throws that he has to make, he has to use anticipation to make sure he gets there on time. He's got to leave early. But if you could say that about Brock, then Mac, by way of Mac not being that athletic to be able to break out the pocket and just steal 10 yards, steal 5 yards, Mac's pocket presence, his feet in the pocket, how he shifts and moves in the pocket. Dude, did you see he was in the red zone at one point. He threw a sidearm pass that his arm got stopped and he changed the trajectory and almost laid it in with his wrist. Yo, Mac is impressive in the pocket. You know, for what it's worth, would you argue with me? This is just a short list. But if you wouldn't be mad if somebody said that the top 3 quarterbacks in the league are Joe Montana, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning ever. You wouldn't sniff at that, right? You can understand why somebody would say that, right?
Yeah, I mean, Mahomes got to be in there, but sure, yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? Yeah. All 3 of those guys, athletically outside of the pocket, dog water. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at Peyton Manning in the pocket, bro. Watch Peyton Manning in the pocket. Watch Tom Brady in the pocket. How they move, how they stand. You know how many throws Mac threw staring down the barrel and completed those passes? I gotta be honest. It's a far cry away from Brock throwing and praying and turning his back to make sure that he can't take the hit. That stuff matters. And that's what I'm seeing out of Mac is that in certain instances, Mac is tougher while doing his job. Brock is just tough, period. And that doesn't help us at quarterback.
I said this stat a million times last year. We watched film a million times last year, and I showed repeatedly that Brock was taking sacks that were unnecessary all season long. And the stats backed it up. He was number 2 behind Caleb Williams and quarterback taking sacks, meaning he was the reason for those sacks. And he did it. He was right behind Caleb Williams and did it in like 130 less dropbacks. Okay. This comment right here, Sacred Intuition, Kyle's calling better plays for Jones. Oh my God.
He trusts him more.
Listen, again, the plays have been there to be made. Brock is choosing not to check the ball down. And if Brock did that, it would keep the chains moving. Brock's interceptions and his turnovers are coming in clean pockets on first down. Okay. The most unnecessary situation ever to not check it down. If this was like a 4th down or a 3rd down and long and you're at midfield and it's like, hey, you want to go YOLO? Who cares? You get a arm punt. Yeah. I'm fine with that. But when it's first down and you got game on the line and you got a check down in front of you and you want to throw into double teams to Jennings, who's not going to be a burner anyways, like what are you actually doing? The plays are there. He's not taking them, folks. It's all over the film. Kyle's not just like, oh, you know what? I had this playbook waiting here. Let me dust it all off and just put it together for Mac so that I can make my $53 million quarterback look like a horrible investment. What are we actually talking about here? This is crazy.
So let me revisit this then with you. Seeing how Mac is performing in this offense, how much do you believe that Kyle wanted Trey over Mac?
I don't know. I mean, I've heard a lot of things over the years, and that he did want Trey.
That he got out. But we also heard that.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, we also heard that Kyle got vetoed.
I don't know, man. I honestly don't know the answer to this question. Justin says, all this being said, Brock and Levitt. Yeah, we got that one. Yeah, we got that one. Sean says, Coach, you freeze, and I'm snapshotting that ish. Jiva says, Brock struggled last year with missing pieces and was given a pass. Mac is balling with worse pieces this year. Think about that. Just be efficient. Bingo. Bingo, bingo, bingo. All right, y'all. Listen, we're going to get out of here. Monday Night Football's on. I want to go watch the game. Coach, as always, thank you so much for joining me.
Love
cover
you,
2 is a blast. I love it. We'll be back Wednesday together doing cover 4 or 4-man front, not cover 4. 4-man front on
Wednesday?
Patreon Wednesday with me, you, Grant, and Ryan. So I look forward to that. And I'll be back tomorrow with Sunil. I'll be back tomorrow
with
Chunderboy, right?
Chunderboy, yeah, for Neutral Zone.
There we go. All right. Thank you to everybody in the chat for contributing. Much love. We'll talk soon. Peace.